Well, hello, this is Rosa, rcgkreations. How are you doing? Let me get that camera angle a little bit better here. We're making today something I've never done before. Herbed whole chicken. I got my oven on, it's preheating, 430 degrees. I've got a baking dish, lightly greased. And then you take all the innards. If your chicken has any innards and all that, take them all out. You don't need it. And then you rinse off your chicken. Then you pat dry it, which is what I did. And pat drying it, all it is drying it, the moisture off the top of the chicken with a paper towel. Or a cloth, whatever you want to do. Okay, so I've done that phase. Now, let's see. I need to put... I've got a bunch of different herbs. I will put in the description box like always, and I'll also do a pop-up of all the ingredients per the recipe, but I don't have everything. So I'm just going to add a little bit, and what I've done is Italian Chop House. This one is Buttery Steakhouse. And I will put all this again in the description box. And this is the no salt lemon pepper. And then I've got my parsley for the coating on the top. And I don't have any rosemary. But I do have crushed rosemary, but it's not like the rosemary sprigs. And I got some garlic powder, okay? That I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of that fresh, this is my homemade fresh garlic powder. And then you've got some minced garlic. I got a whole clove. Goes down to 1 clove. So I got to make this stretch. Okay, so pat the oil down. So now we're going to get the olive oil and the melted butter. We're not going to use any wine. Oh, I forgot my lemon juice. Let me get me some lemon juice. I have it right here in the fridge. Whenever I have a bottle of lemon juice or some extra squeezed fresh lemons, I save the little extras in the container. And I keep it in my fridge. And let me close this back up. Because you always want to shake it, because it does have sediments from settling in the fridge. But this is my fresh squeezed lemon juice. Okay, so we're going to take... This says, take the olive oil, melted butter, and the wine, and mix and pour over the chicken, and rub all over the pieces of the chicken. So let me get my little mixing bowl. I am using my Kroger brand olive oil. And I need to have... Okay, come on, computer. I'm using my phone. Okay. Because I put my recipes in my phone and my program here. So it's 1/4 cup unsalted butter, 3 tablespoons of olive oil, and 1/4 cup of white wine if you're going to use wine. So we need 1/4 cup of butter, which is already melted, 3 tablespoons of olive oil. So let me get a tablespoon. 3 tablespoons of olive oil. That seems like an awful lot of olive oil. But oh well, that's what the recipe says. And says, I've never cooked a whole chicken. I cooked a whole chicken just by itself with just salt and pepper, no other seasonings in it. But this is a little bit more elaborate than I'm used to. 1/4 cup olive oil and the white wine, which we're not going to do. And then lemon, half of a lemon. I'm going to go ahead and use... I'm just going to use 1/4 cup. I don't know if that's enough or not. So let me mix this up right quick. This is just a knife that I use to cut the butter. We use the sticks of butter. I've got unsalted butter and regular butter. So I'm just going to mix that up. Oh, and let me get some paper towels because I know this is going to get messy. So I can wipe my hands when I'm at that stage. Okay, so it says where we're at. Okay, we'll pour over the chicken and rub over all the pieces of the chicken. Okay, oops. I wonder if I should be doing this while it's in the... It didn't say if I should be doing this here and then transport it over there. I'm going to put it over here because I don't know if this is going to, with all the oil, is it going to let me transport it without me dropping, because that's going to be a slick chicken. FYI, for safety, don't forget, do your own research, do your own homework on what's best for you and on how you're going to do any cooking. Now, especially when you're cooking with chicken, make sure you use your hand sanitizing wipes. Wipe down any juices on the floor and on the counter so you don't get sick. Okay, so I'm just going to pour this on and do like it said, and then load it. It said just rub everything. So rub. This is a messy job. Get all the chicken, basically you want to coat all the meat. And if you have exposed skin, like in here on the neck, sometimes you get that exposed skin, go ahead and put it underneath that. But I don't have any in this particular chicken. And this is a store-bought chicken from our grocery store because we don't have a farm, we don't have a garden. And I just buy everything. You don't have to worry about doing the bottom because it's going to soak in its own juices. Okay? So, that's pretty much coated. It said use all of it, so I'm going to use it all. Get all that in there. I'm going to try just to get one hand dirty. And when it's baking in the oven, it's supposed to get the skin nice and crusty. So you're going to have a good herb flavor. And it's supposed to be really good. And hubby and I like crusty. So that should work. And let me wash my hands real quick. I'm getting some soap or the excess oil. Get my towel. So I'm not so bad. I just use some, we use Dawn here in the kitchen. Oop, I see oil right here. So I'm definitely wiped it, and I see a drop that fell down there. I'm going to get my hand sanitizer after it's all done and clean that up. Okay, so you poured all that in there. Season the outside and the inside. So here's all my herbs all mixed up. And what I did is I used 2 1/4 teaspoons, of, oh, I forgot my melted butter. I was supposed to use my oil on my melted butter. You know what? Going to... And I just felt that I touched my arm. Wipe that down. Let me just coat a little bit on here. And I'm going to put some butter in the inside of the chicken. It couldn't hurt. And then let me sprinkle my seasonings. And then you sprinkle it on there, and then you're going to rub it on everywhere. At least that's what it said. Don't forget to do the chicken thighs, chicken legs. So, pat that on there. Gonna get dirty again, but that's okay. That's part of cooking, especially with something that's gonna taste good. With all these seasonings, I think we're gonna like them all, so it should turn out good. Ooh, I'm getting some at the very edge because you're supposed to get some twine and put that together, but I don't have any cooking twine. I used to, but that was years ago. And since I hadn't done anything with it, I don't have any twine. You probably could use any kind of string, but you want to make sure it's food grade before you use just any old string. So I'm going to put a cookie sheet underneath that so the legs cook and the juices fall over. They don't go in my oven and get it all dirty. Okay, so there's that. Now we're going to put the garlic on top, because that's what it says to do. And the rest of the garlic is going to go inside the chicken. You're supposed to really do one whole head of garlic, barely, slightly peel it, and then cut it in half, and then stick the whole thing inside the cavity. So let me get the inside, stick that in there. Smells good. I wish videos let you smell. So stick that all on the inside over there. Anything that fell, just move it on the inside. And with that butter and it's steaming, and you're going to cook it in the oven for an hour, and about an hour and 15-20 minutes. You want your chicken to, if you have a thermometer, do it at 165, then that means it's ready. So you'll poke the thigh or the breast meat, and when it hits 165, then you know that that's ready. So that is it. So we're done. That didn't take much at all. So let me rinse my hands before I go any further. Let me get my other towel. Dry that off. Let me get my cookie sheet. I'm going to need a big cookie sheet for this one. Nope. That one won't work. Okay, this one should work. Ooh, that sucker's heavy. Okay, that works. So let me put it in the oven. And I put mine on the second to the bottom rack. Again, I did a lot of my research, like I said in the beginning, do your own research, and all the sites about all this stuff didn't say what rack, middle, lower. I don't know. Since I've never done this before, we'll find out and see how it turns out. And then I always put in my little cheat sheet notes when I add on here of where to put the rack of whatever it is that I'm cooking. So now I'm going to set my timer for an hour and 15 minutes. Come back, we'll test it, get the thermometer and test it. We'll be back, and then it should be ready, and then we're going to have a side dish. I'm not for sure if we're going to do, because it's baked chicken, I'm thinking of just doing corn. Maybe doing corn or green beans. Well, ask hubby and see what he thinks he wants to have as a side dish. And then supper will be ready. So we'll be back in the next phase. Okay, we're back. The chicken is done. And I'm not touching it because it's hot. Hubby went ahead and sliced it, did everything, took it out. So here is the chicken. We made green beans and biscuits. So let's do my favorite part, which is the taste test. Let's do a little piece of, oh, it's nice and tender, and it's juicy. Let me see if I can get a picture up close for you. See that? Let me get in here. Let's do a taste test. I did let it sit for 10 minutes before we cut into it. You can taste all the... oh, I forgot to mention. I forgot to add the rosemary and the parsley, sprinkled it on top of the chicken. So when I remembered, it had just barely been in the oven. I slid the rack out, and I sprinkled all my herbs on top, which you can see. But it got a little bit toasty, but you can definitely taste the rosemary, the thyme. And the garlic is not overpowering, even though we used a lot of garlic. And you can definitely taste the butter and all the seasoning. So for me, I think it's a win-win. I would not add any salt and pepper, but you do how you want to do it. But for me, this is a thumbs up, 2 thumbs up on this one, because this is definitely a meal that because there's enough chicken in here for 3 meals for hubby and I that we will definitely do this again. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next video. Don't forget to hit like, comment, and share. Bye-bye.